Okay, so I have noticed a new issue in Fortnite that's relatively common, and several other people have been dealing with it as well. So I thought I would make a video to show how to deal with it. There's a couple of things you'll need to do. So the part of it I'm only really going to be able to draw because if I engaged the issue properly, I couldn't really record it. Um, I think at least. Anyway, but the first thing you do is press the buttons Control, Shift, and Escape in rapid succession, or like all at once. So you press Control, Shift, and Escape in that order, but at the same time, kind of. Um, I'm not sure how much the order matters, but just try to get it in that order. And so that's just for general anything that crashes on your PC that you have issues with and you need to shut it down. Press Control, Shift, Escape. It's going to bring up this menu. In fact, this menu actually has a lot of other purposes for gaming. So you can see here the two top applications I'm using are Paint 3D and OBS Studio. OBS Studio is what I'm using for Word. And then through here, there's a bunch of other things your PC can tell. So like Epic Games. Anyway, when you have Fortnite running, even in a bugged state, it's going to be somewhere in there. Although by default, if Fortnite's actually running properly, it's generally going to be in the top section where OBS was. The other thing you do, so imagine your current desktop is just like a little blue thing here. And you could have multiple on a monitor. Now you may potentially be able to use this on a second monitor, but what you want to press is the function key that's generally marked by FN plus the little Windows logo key plus escape, or no, tab, sorry. And that's going to pop up a second desktop. Or actually, no, that's going to pop up a little command where it's like, if you have multiple desktops, it'll be shown up here. You'll have over here like a few rows of just various things that you've done recently. And then up here, or actually, I guess if we didn't have this stuff, the first thing up here would be add new desktop. And that's the thing you'd want to click. Because once you click the new desktop thing, or the thing of that is a much shorter run. I'm not very good at drawing. Just, like a little thing. Actually, I think it might just look like this. But it'll say new desktop, and that'll bring it so that you basically have two virtual desktops like this that aren't connected. And on one of them, you're going to have Fortnite running. And on this second one, you're going to want to have this is the tab where you're going to want to open your task manager, this thing, because when your full screen crashes, you're not going to be able to deal with it on the first one. And there's actually a few other games like Saints Row where I've had the same type of issue for not being able to open Task Manager on the first one. Anyway, actually, cancel. Okay, so the thing that you're going to want to do here, which generally isn't the best idea, but you're going to want to click on the application. We'll say Paint 3D is the one I want to close. And you can either click End Task, which is the same as pressing Alt F4 kind of, or in the case of something that's bugged and isn't responding, it'll actually give you a little thing that says it's not responding. You're going to press Force Stop, and it's going to be in that same little list of options. So again, just you imagine you're on this window. Let's see if this records it. Right? You're going to want to open this. Any application you have in here running, you can force stop. But again, you do not want to close down any of this random stuff because all of it's kind of necessary to keep your computer running well. I mean, actually, a bit of it isn't. And you may have various things that run that you don't want. But it's generally not good to mess around with those. And if you are ever going to do anything, always make sure to Google it first because there are all sorts of different files that people try to troll you into deleting, and you do not want to do that or force close things. But for something like Fortnite or a game that's already crashed, you know you're not going to do much more harm to your PC than it could have already done by just force closing it. And the kind of key point here is to open a new desktop, pressing the function Windows tab. Okay, so it does actually show up. That is kind of cool. All right, yeah. Anyway, you click new desktop over here, and it shows these. You'd want to go over to the second desktop, and then actually wait. Let me just show you something important first. So if I were to go in the first one and press this. Sorry, get these. There's a bunch of them. So imagine I have it open in the first desktop. No. But then I go to the second tab. If I try to make it pop up over here, I get again brought to the first window. It doesn't really let me use it in two separate tabs, so don't open it in the first one if it's not working, or you're going to have to try to scroll down and empty it. The other thing you can do if even that's having a hard issue is you can use your keyboard analog to kind of do almost everything you could visually, and sometimes that's also going to give you advantages. And what I mean by that is instead of using your mouse to click things, you can use arrows, escape, tab, enter, and a few other buttons to just sort of navigate through everything that you could with the mouse anyway. And that might be helpful